Taking the philosophy of divide and conquer, the champions managed to down the zombies. But before they could celebrate, a possessed Ida summoned a ghostly knight in black flaming armor. After a harrowing battle, Piper used her veal to summon 4 bears to maul the knight to death. Jelltur found himself face to face with Cyrus, god of death, who left him with an ominous message about the mortality of all things. Unable to do much with this message, the champions made their way back to Brath. Before they slept, Piper looked at the first mate's journal that Jelltur had brought back, noting the concern he had about the stars falling out of alignment. Scratch joined Piper outside to study the stars with the star chart he had taken from the ship. They noted that several constellations had vanished from the sky. Though perturbed, they agreed they could do no more that night, and turned in.
This time you're going to awake, most of you in the room with Jeff and his little sister. Which actually it's just Piper and Scratch who will be there because Jelltur has his own room.
And Kreg has been exiled.
And Kreg has taken a self-imposed exile.
Hey Brian, can I try to climb up to the window of
Oh, you wake up. We'll start with you then. I was going to leave you to last, but we'll start with you. You wake up, and the sun is over you. You know, it's kind of peeking over the horizon. It's nice and warm. There's a cool breeze. It's nice to be outside. You open your eyes and you see the fluffy clouds above you.
Yeah.
Then you try to move. You can't.
Oh no.
You look down and you are laying on a stump. Ropes around your wrist.
Oh, no.
Both your wrists and ankles, and they're staked into the ground.
Of course.
And you're kind of looking around, and all of a sudden you hear thunk! And you look down, and right between your legs is a wood chopping axe.
That's
And Tilly is standing there. You break any more of my stuff? It's gonna be your balls. And she walks away. That's it. That's the entire interaction. She just leaves you tied to that stump and goes inside.
She's a vindictive little one.
Well, I guess I'd look back at her and go, "Have a good day."
If she responds at all, it's just to flip you off as she walks into the inn. You're just kind of testing the ropes there as Jeff walks outside and goes, "Shit, I thought she was kidding."
That's good.
No.
That's really good.
Yeah. Oh wow. Okay. Yeah.
Holy shit,
Why
man.
would you think that?
And Jeff will help untie you.
Actually, before he does that, just because I'm just curious to now test how strong I actually am, I want to see if I can at least pull one out to at least.
Alright, make an athletics check.
Okay. If this works, I will be terrified of Kreg myself. Okay. Oh, that's not horrible. 20 non-nat.
You flex your right arm and you pull, and suddenly that 2-foot-long metal spike comes free of the ground and goes flying, and Jeff ducks out of the way as it's like you have a rope attached to your arm with a metal spike at the end of it flailing around. It's like, "Hey, easy, easy!"
I do the other one.
Go ahead and roll.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's over 25, so...
So the other one comes flying off, and Jeff's like, "Alright, I see you got this, have fun," and he goes back inside.
I'm just imagining Mongo.
He just yawns and all the chains come off.
Yeah.
That poor boy almost got his head taken off. Jesus Christ.
Alright, so I'm gonna just roll 2 more to see if I can get the... Is it
Get the legs.
The legs, yeah. That's a 16. So not
16. Alright, so you're pulling on this one with your leg, and you're realizing your arms are a lot stronger than your legs. You're feeling the rope give, but you actually start pulling yourself off the stump, and you kind of flop into the ground, into the dirt on the other side.
Then I just untie myself after that, thinking like, oh yeah.
Yeah, physics. So you untie yourself.
because my arms were free first, and I did not think of that. So
Yep. So you just
yeah.
voomp, plop.
I'm gonna just take the spikes, I guess, in the rope, if the rope is able to be used.
Yeah, it's probably about 5 feet of rope on each piece.
Okay, so it's gonna be
Not like adventurer grade. It looks like the kind of rope you would tie up, like tie a dog to a pole with.
Okay, so basically 4 pieces of 5-foot rope.
4 pieces of 5-foot rope and 4 2-foot-long metal spikes.
Okay.
They're thin though. They're not like thick, heavy
Okay.
nails. They're thin, like you would about twice the thickness of a tent spike. Alrighty. We will go to Piper and Scratch, who wake up in the room. He does his kitty stretch.
How did you sleep, Scratch?
Well enough.
You see Casey? She's curled up against Scratch.
I just kind of reach over and brush the hair out of her face.
She's sleeping that sleep of like dead children.
Yeah. It's kind
they,
of
like-
adorable.
Yeah, they have that like ragdoll quality sleep. That's the kind
Yeah.
of sleep she's got going on right now.
We should let her sleep.
Brian, I wrote everything down. Can I try, obviously let them finish what they're doing. Can I try to do what I initially wanted to do?
Sure, make an athletics check.
Alright. Over 25.
So the two of you are looking at this small child, and Scratch, you can feel whatever you feel looking at the small sleeping child. But Scratch, I would like you to make a perception check for me.
Okay. 9.
9. You're very focused on the small child, curled up against you. She's nuzzling into your fur a little bit. Then you hear tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap, tap. You and Piper both turn and look, and Kreg is like, got a hand on either side of the window, his face just pressed against the glass, that big goofy smile, like, hi!
Kitty!
I just hold a finger to my lips, go shh.
I do the same thing and then I fall.
Sounds about right.
So Piper just goes, shh, and Kreg goes, shh. And you just see his, like, the one anchor point he had is gone, so he just starts to swing in one direction, and he goes careening off one side, and you just hear, like, crashing.
I'm really hoping they didn't break more of her stuff.
Oh, God.
How long did that take? Like, not even 5 minutes?
Not even 5 minutes.
Jesus Christ, man.
So that is how your morning starts. Jelltur, are you doing anything special in your room by yourself?
No, I look in the bag with the head. It's like, oh yeah. You forgot about this.
I forgot he had that.
Yep, you have a drow head in there. The sourcelet is, like, embedded into the skin,
Yeah,
and
so
you can't get it off.
yeah, so I close the bag with my weapon. I get all my weapons together, and I leave my room. Head
Alrighty.
downstairs. Yeah, head downstairs. So
Alright, so you head downstairs, and Jeff is putting out plates, and Tilly is chopping, like, vegetables, very aggressively. Actually, she's chopping up the potatoes that you brought her, and she's chopping them very aggressively.
I look at Jeff.
Jeff he looks at you, and he goes back to putting the plates out.
All right, I tell Tilly I'm going to skip breakfast for today.
She just kind of looks up. She's still chopping. She's not looking at what she's chopping, but she's still chopping. She just kind of nods at you and goes back to chopping.
Good conversation. I walk out the tavern.
So the rest of you come in to breakfast. Kreg kind of staggering in a little bit, like getting his balance after falling off the second story and probably landing on his head, thus taking no damage.
That's mean. That's
It's true.
It's
It
true.
is, but still mean.
Yeah. And Casey comes down, rubbing her eyes in that sleepy, childlike way, And she sits down, and Jeff starts serving you guys breakfast. The chopping has been replaced with the sound of like a meaty punch over and over again. And you can't see what Tilly's doing. Her back is to you all. But she's like violently smacking something. But it's still cold meat pie, by the way.
Kreg is just furiously writing on his list now.
Is Kreg furiously crossing names off the list?
No, he's perception.
Perception? Sure.
Natural 1, Scratch doesn't care.
7. I'm distracted by the punching, I'm sure.
Piper is like, she's trying to look at what you're doing, but she keeps looking over at the smacking noise.
Yeah.
She's like, what is going on over there? And Jeff just kind of leans in. She's tenderizing the meat. She has a special hammer for it. I think it was tenderized about 20 minutes ago, but I'm not a chef. And he just kind of walks away.
Yeah, that's his excuse.
Yeah.
He is a very smart man, and they will be very good together.
Alright, Kreg finishes and puts it back in his bag.
Alrighty. So you guys are enjoying your breakfast of cold meat pie. Casey's just kind of... You ever see a sleepy child eating where it's just kind of mechanical? They're putting the food in there and they're chewing, but the eyes are glassy?
Yeah.
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 That's kind of how she's eating right now. Just not focused on anything. And then the door opens and there's a little jingle. And a young boy comes in. And he goes over to Tilly. He asks... Excuse me, miss? She turns and there's just murder in her eyes. And the boy just freezes. Turns to Jeff. Excuse me, sir.
Oh, this poor woman.
Jeff takes the paper from him. It's like a rolled up piece of paper. He nods, and the boy very quickly exits the diamond shell inn. Jeff opens it up, stops, turns to you, and hands it to Piper and goes, I forgot.
Oh.
This means nothing to me. He just hands it to you. He can't read.
Gotcha. I take it and take a look at what it is.
It is a summons for the rescuers of the children from the Ocean's Folly to come meet with Mayor Rolfe at his manor house today at noon.
Okay.
What time is it now?
It is early in the morning, probably about 7 or 8, so you have a few hours in case, you wanted to hit the shops or take care of anything.
Or we should tell Jelltur that he needs to wake up.
Yes, we should. I'll go,
Wait. At this point, Craig's like, I got tiny human, and
up the stairs?
yeah.
Up the stairs.
Anyone can try to stop me, be like, no, Craig, go give him. But that's up to you.
No, we could.
Okay.
You're just already gone. I'm just like,
What was that?
it would have been fun.
Yes, it is.
It is. So, Kreg,
Or was.
we have established how polite Kreg is.
Yes, it is.
Knock, knock, bash.
So I'm assuming you're knocking on the door, Kreg.
Oh yeah, no, I'm gonna knock.
There's no answer.
I knock a little louder.
There's still no answer.
I knock as loud and as hard as I can do it. And also remember, Bryan.
Make an athletics check.
Alright. 17.
Alrighty. So from downstairs, you just hear knock, knock, knock. A few seconds pass. Knock, knock, knock. A few more seconds pass. Knock, knock, crash!
I just look over to Tilly.
And she has stopped moving. She is completely still. She puts down the tenderizing hammer. She takes the cleaver. Jeff walks over and takes the cleaver away from her. Puts it down. And is whispering something to her, and you see her visibly shaking.
I don't think we're going to be welcome here much longer.
Bryan, did I just become the doorknob of this campaign?
So, Kreg, you were standing there, and the door to Jelltur's room is laying on the floor.
I guess I walk in and see if he's see if what's in there.
There's no Jelltur, but Jelltur, I will ask you, did you leave anything in the room that wasn't there already?
Just a lockbox.
Alright, so there's no sign of Jelltur, but go ahead and make an investigation check.
Okay. That's a 3.
I feel like he's walking like a bloodhound, like nose to the ground, trying to
Nose to the
find-
ground, sniffing around, and you find no sign of Jelltur, hide nor hair.
I'm going to basically go to the... How is the stairs, like, set up and everything? Is it where I can be at the top of the stairs and just lean over the rail and be like, he's not here?
I mean, they won't see you, but they'll definitely hear you.
Okay, I'm going to basically, I guess, yell and go, he's not here! And I'm gonna come back down.
Defeating the purpose of yelling down to you in the first place. Kreg descends the stairs. And
Tiny-
Tilly is just staring at you.
I wave.
She reaches for the cleaver again, and Jeff just takes her arm.
Kreg looks confused.
I feel like I'm partially to blame for this.
I mean, you left without telling anybody, so yes. Yes, Kreg.
Just partially.
Tiny human's not here.
That's weird. He didn't say anything to us about leaving.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna go see if there's clues. I go back up.
You do that.
I asked Jeff, did you see him?
I saw him leave this morning. He said he was skipping breakfast. He went out probably half hour before you guys came down.
Alright, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm going to...
I'll go get Kreg.
You go get Kreg, I'm gonna start seeing if anybody saw our friend.
Alrighty. So, I'm gonna start with Scratch on this one. Scratch goes upstairs, and you walk in, and all you see is Craig's butt. Because the rest of him is underneath the bed, and his butt just kind of wiggling back and forth as he's moving around searching for clues. And I would like to remind you, Kreg wears a loincloth.
Kreg.
Huh? Yeah. Wait, Bryan, as I do this, I go, yes, yeah, exactly.
Yep, that was
Like,
exactly what I was going. His head just jumps up, bonk. Ow! Yeah?
He left already.
Oh.
Let's
We should
go.
find him.
Yes, we will do that. Let's go.
You guys are going down the stairs as Jeff is walking up the stairs with a toolbox.
Sorry, Jeff.
I've never hung a door before. This will be interesting. As he looks, and you just see Scratch. You notice as Jeff notices it because you were just going up there. You walk in as you're coming out. The beam that held the hinges in place is still on the door.
He has his work cut out for him, in
Yeah,
other
so
words.
Jeff has a busy day ahead of him.
Oh, Bryan, can we also do one? Can I do one thing? Can I pick up the door and kind of put it back where the door was supposed to be, kind of? And
You pick up the door and you lean it in place.
yeah.
And you're like, ta-da! And Jeff just puts his head in his hand and just like, thank you, Kreg.
All right. So, I guess that means we head to town?
Alrighty. So Piper has a little bit of a head start on you, unless you were waiting for them.
Yeah, I started. I may as well try to. I also want to try every so often after I travel a certain distance, use one of my new spells. I want to use message to see if I can, get a beat on where he is.
Jelltur!
It's Jelltur. Where are you? I hope you're safe. Please respond to this message.
You get nothing back.
I figured. But I start asking around if anybody has seen him.
Most people, they're just kind of shake their heads, shrug, and a lot of people are moving down towards where the docks are, because that's where the work is when there's work. And as you get into the square, Scratch and Kreg, you're gonna be able to see her. She's pretty easy to spot on the street, and she only had like a minute or two head start on you. So you can catch up to her pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's 2 tieflings in town. You'd be able to tell them apart.
I would hope.
I'm pretty sure Piper's red-skinned, Philia is purple-skinned, so
Oh,
Yes.
pretty easy to tell them
Also
apart.
easy to tell them apart.
I think Philia also has a couple inches on Piper, so...
Yeah. Well, if the dwarf's into
possibly.
that...
I mean, I will have to check in with them, but first, Jelltur.
Alrighty. I would like you to make a perception check, though. Everyone can make it. Piper would be the first to notice if she did see it.
Sure. 7.
7? Nope, you don't notice it.
These dice are just benched for the day.
20.
20?
19.
19. So, Piper is moving around, talking to people, and Kreg and Scratch are, like, jogging to catch up. And then Scratch and Kreg, you both kind of slow down. Scratch, you have never seen this before in your life. You have no idea what this is. But coming from the docks, it's like a tree. The 3 of them, reaching up into the sky. Vines going from one to the other, and it's moving. The trees are moving together. Kreg, you do know what this is. You've seen a ship before.
Oh, okay.
A ship is coming into dock. Scratch wouldn't have a clue what the hell this is. It just looks like 3 trees moving
I was waiting
together.
for you to be like, and roll initiative.
But it
And
is a...
Scratch stops. The hell is that?
Kreg looks at him and just like, looks like a ship's coming into the dock. And just keeps walking, that's all he says. Come on, Piper's over there.
I'm just kind of picturing, like, that cat with the big eyes and the ears kind of droop back behind it, like, mouth open, like,
Yeah.
what?
I guess I follow him.
Alrighty. So you catch up to Piper, and you're in the middle of the town. What do you do here?
Well, I'm still trying to ask around, but nobody's really seen him.
Alright.
Maybe he's by the docks.
You can make an investigation check for me.
Sure. Investigation is better than perception. 16.
16. You're talking to people, and as you move around, no one seems to have seen him. They know who you're talking about, because there's been some chatter about you guys.
I mean,
mean-
mostly good, I would hope.
Good, because you just saved the 2 children, so... You're the strangers who came into town, you went to the Ocean's Folly, you came back with the children, so there's good chatter about you.
Alive.
And there is some chatter about being your summons to the mayor, because, I mean, a page boy was sent with the information. It's not like it was kept secret after that. You give a page boy anything.
Yeah, everyone hears about it by then.
Yeah.
No, bro, I meant to say that too. That inside my room, it's not just the lockbox that I got this lockbox. It was also the box that had the gem in it from the ghost ship.
Oh, the sphere?
Tied up in rope and everything. Remember, I tied it up. I was like, I am going.
Craig got a 3.
Fair enough.
And Scratch didn't make one, so...
Don't care.
Yeah, he didn't care enough. Scratch didn't care enough to
Scratch
look.
cares
Craig didn't notice.
absolutely nothing about you guys.
That's fair. That is fair. Jelltur is okay with this.
Scratch gives
Scratch's
so few
apathy is going to
shits.
be the death of him, I swear to God.
Yeah.
That's
Ah.
okay. Piper cares more for everybody else. It makes up for it.
A bit too much, yeah.
Yeah, Piper makes up by caring about stuff too much.
Way too much, especially certain.
So,
things.
you know, we balance out each other and be a normal humanoid.
I
It's
don't
fine.
know about that.
Moving on. The ringing of hammers echoes through the square as you guys are looking around, talking to
Oh.
people.
He's back working. Maybe Jelltur went to go get some more arrows.
So you're going over to the Pampered Hoof.
Yeah, let's go over to the Pampered Hoof. Let's
Apparently
see our
we
friend.
are.
Well, I am at least. I don't know about you.
I'm gonna follow.
The 2 of you start moving. Scratch kind of looking over his shoulder at the masts of the ship, still kind of like, yeah.
Come on, darling. Come on.
And you make your way to the Pampered Hoof, and you see Gil is there. His hair is pulled back into a tail this time. He's got the rings in his beard again, keeping it tucked back so he can work the forge. and he is hammering away at something. You can't really tell what it is yet. It seems to be in the early stages of work.
Good morning, Gil.
Ting, ting, ting.
I will use message and say good morning.
What the? What?
That was me. Wave.
He puts the hammer down and drops the metal he was working into the water. And you just. you don't do that to me, lass. Whew.
I'm sorry, but I also, you were working and...
Sorry. No,
Hey,
sorry.
I had a little inspiration the past couple days.
I'm sure you did, and I'd love to hear all about it.
That's unnerving.
What kind of inspiration?
You know what I said about context yesterday, Nicole?
And then he'll turn to Kreg and goes, well, I just had an idea for working on something I never tried before. I don't really want to get too much into it because if I say it and it doesn't work out, I don't want to put my boot in my mouth. So right now it's a secret.
Boots aren't good food.
No, they're not. At least you learned that much in life. What can I do for you lot?
Oh, we were actually just wondering if you saw our friend Jelltur, the halfling.
The little shit?
Yes.
Yes.
Nope.
No? You haven't
You can
seen
tell
him?
because I still have all my anchors.
That is also true. I'm trying to wonder where he would have gone. Like, he didn't let us know he was leaving. And I thought maybe he just came to buy some more arrows.
Nope, I haven't seen him
Is that
today.
another one that just left? I mean, I'm not surprised. It seems a lot of our group just keeps leaving without telling us.
Kreg starts sniffing his armpit. Go. I don't know why.
Hey, Scratch, just make a perception check.
Making perception
Please.
check. 18.
Yeah, you notice that as you say that, like, Piper's expression just sort of almost looks a little heartbroken, and then she fixes it real quick. Well,
Ooh.
just for like a moment. Well, thank you, Gil. We'll see you soon, I'm sure. Let you get back to work.
Thank you. Alright.
Anyway, puts hand on Craig's shoulder. Maybe let's go check with Philia, see if maybe she's seen him. Because I know he was interested in some of the stuff in the shop.
Oh, there was like some monkey or lemur thing. I was
a lemur.
very...
Yeah, and you were
ring-tailed
interested in
lemur.
there too. Like, we may as well go check.
Ooh. And he just starts running towards the shop.
Just boom, people like ducking out of the way. And Scratch, you do notice that as you follow him begrudgingly, you're getting closer to those masts, the ship that Kreg spoke of.
Are you okay, Scratch?
I don't usually see trees moving.
I look up. Oh, okay. I just put hand on your shoulder like Pat. It's okay. It's just a ship. It won't hurt you. Let's go. We can even go take a look at it later if you like.
Right.
Alright, so you get to the closet cornucopia. And
It's open?
Yep, and Kreg through the door. Ding-a-ling-a-ling-ling-ling-ling-ling-ling-ling-ling-ling-ling.
Reach up, catch the bell once I get there.
Yep. And Philia looks up. Ah, it is so good to see all of you again. How can I help you today?
Hi.
It's good.
Hello.
It's good to see you too. We were actually wondering if you saw our friend Jelltur, if he was dropped by.
Oh, that nice young man. No, I haven't seen him today.
No?
No.
Well, if you see him, let him know we're looking for him.
Oh, I will be sure to do that. That is not a problem.
Thank you.
Where's the lemur?
He is still sitting in his cage, eating a piece of fruit, staring at you.
I stare at him back.
He's looking at you. He finishes the fruit. He sticks his paw out of the cage and drops the pit on your head.
Present!
What do you do with your present?
I don't know, toss in my bag, like, thank you.
Alright.
And I also ask, how much?
For Sebastian, that would be 15 gold.
What do I... Oh, I actually have that. Yeah, I'll buy the lemur.
Here,
Alright. So you hand over 15 gold, and you now have Sebastian the lemur.
now, Kreg, I kind of squat.
He can't
I squat down.
He can't even take care of himself.
You know you need to take very good care of him, right? You know you need to feed him.
I will. I will love him. I'll feed him and hug him and take care of him.
Be
and
gentle
pet
with the
him.
hugging.
So here's my question for you, Kreg. Do you keep Sebastian in his cage, or do you open the door?
Yeah, I probably open the door as soon as I'm given the okay to do so.
Yep. So you get the cage, open the door. And I would like for you to quickly make an animal handling check.
Alrighty. Oh, good. My wisdom's +1, so it could be okay. And I made sure animal handling was one of my proficiencies.
Proficiencies.
Yeah, so.
This is gonna
Oh
go poorly.
my god, yes!
Crit
I'm sitting there going,
success?
natural
Crit
one.
success.
I still don't know if it's a natural 1 or 20.
It's a crit success plus. It's a 23 total, but crit success.
Nice.
Woo!
So you open the door, and Sebastian's kind of looking at you. He walks out of the cage, up your arm, and sits on your shoulder, still eating a piece of fruit. Turns his head to you, and you look at him.
Mm-hmm.
Drops the pit on your head.
Oh. 2 pits in inventory now.
He gave you another present.
I know.
So you have a lemur just sitting on your shoulder.
Okay.
Lemurs are pretty cool, though. No
They are.
They're also not supposed to be pets.
Remember, this is a curio shop in a magical time that... Well, magical land
no,
that time
it's
forgot.
not.
True.
Brian, was I told the lemur's name?
Yes, she said that is Sebastian.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
Hey, Philia, what does he eat other than fruit?
Whatever he gets his hands on, really. I don't feed him.
Can I go over and Arcana check this lemur?
Sure.
So he just has food, huh?
Yes, that's what happens. I have never needed to feed him. Every morning I wake up, he has fruit in his cage.
Nope, 9.
I open it, but I'm also going to take the cage, just in case he wants a place to sleep at night.
Sure.
Why don't you go put the cage back at the inn?
Okay. I walk
Okay.
out the door, ding, 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 and walk back to, the inn by myself with Tilly.
Mm-hmm.
And a lemur.
Yep.
Yep.
Look what I brought
Jeff
home.
can only do so much, you guys.
Jeff is upstairs.
Yep.
We are taking no additional action.
Just specifying all that, just in case anyone was curious.
No,
Yep.
no, we understand completely.
I was just thinking you carrying it around town, you know.
I mean, he could hook it to his backpack. It's not a big cage.
Did we? Yeah. Did we ask? We asked if she saw Jelltur, right?
Yeah, she has
did.
not. And she'll let us know if she sees him. Or let him know that we're looking. Okay, so not at the curio shop, not at the blacksmith. People haven't really seen him. He doesn't know about the mayor's summons.
He
So
does
he
not.
wouldn't go there. He wouldn't go back to the... He wouldn't go back to the ship, would he?
No.
Back at the ship, Jelltur, you are walking up the beach and you see the gray, sodden wood of the ocean's Folly. The tattered sail and torn rigging flapping lazily in the breeze. The gentle moan of zombies that you did not do anything about echoes from inside.
Yeah, they'll lock behind the door. Whatever. Yeah. Alright, so I climb back to the top of the ship.
Alright.
I take the head out the bag. I take out a dagger and I start scalping the thing.
Alrighty. So you begin scalping the surcelet off of the body.
Head.
On a cursed ghost ship.
On a ghost
Yep.
ship. Just carving it off.
Yep.
It takes you a good amount of time, but you're
Yeah, I
finally
figured.
able to pry the surcelet free from the bone. You're taking quite a bit of flesh with it, though. It still requires additional cleaning.
Oh yeah, I use some water.
Oh no. I mean, like, the skin is adhered to the inside of the metal. It's probably going to take... It's like scraping it off with a dagger, maybe dipping it in acid or something to really get that flesh off there.
I was going to like dip it in some alcohol.
That might work too. Loosen the flesh up.
Yeah. So I'll do all that.
Alright. And you are left with a scalped elven head and the surcelet.
Alright, I set the head on fire.
With what?
Candle. I have a tinderbox.
Alright.
I use candles, so I light the head on fire.
You light the hair on fire. The hair will burn merrily.
No, the head, like the entire head.
The hair will burn merrily. The rest of it is a little wet.
Fleshy.
Why is it wet?
Because
Flesh
it's
doesn't
flesh.
actually burn that well.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Well, I'll take the time to do it, so, you know. I'm not in a rush.
You have a
I'm not in
candle?
a rush. Well, no, I have a
3
tinderbox.
days later.
You probably
Yes.
you realize this isn't working, and you move probably inland a little bit to get some dried, like, grass and wood, and you create a little pyre, and you can burn it on the sand. Even though it's waterlogged, I still wouldn't set a fire on the ship.
Fair enough. I will go off to the sand, off to the side somewhere, and gather some stuff to make a small fire and burn the head.
All right, you get enough kindling to create a little pyre, and you burn the rest of the head.
All right. Make sure it's burned up. And
Mostly, the skull doesn't burn down to ash. You can't create a fire hot enough for that, but you're able to burn out the flesh, and you just see this blackened elvish skull staring back at you out of the flames.
I smash it.
With
I just step on it. And jump on it.
Make a strength check.
Alright.
I
15.
I need to know.
You jump on it and you feel the bone crack. You slip and you fall on your ass, but you see the broken remnants of the skull. Just kind of, there's just one eye socket still good enough to be looking at you, but the rest of it's kind of caved in and crushed.
Okay.
Does JJ understand just how fucked up this is?
I guess I push into the water.
Alright, you scoop up the remains and you throw it in the lake.
Smack my hands off, and I put the surcelet back in. I'm not taking that bag. I burned the bag too.
Alright. The little satchel you had the head in, yeah.
Yeah.
You burn that and you throw those ashes into the water as well.
I'll just hook the
put the
surcelet around my arm, you know, so no one tries to like mug me on the street.
That would make you more of a target.
I put it in my backpack.
There you go. So you start walking back to town. And I would like to point out something, JJ.
Yeah.
That is how Jeffrey Dahmer got away with his first murder.
No, I'll just cover my tracks.
I mean...
Yes, you did.
Doing pretty well so far.
I mean,
if you had just thrown the head in the ocean, we wouldn't be going, what the fuck?
Nah,
The fact that you went the path of Jeffrey Dahmer...
I'm never by ghost ship. I don't want like this thing to become a vengeful spirit trying to. I don't want the head trying to fucking like coming
yes,
back to life
JJ.
and shit.
Mutilating the head is so going to keep it from becoming vengeful.
I mean, listen, I give it a Viking view. I give it a Viking-like funeral. I think.
You didn't.
Back in the town,
Holy shit, man.
Scratch
Glad I could-
and Piper are in the town square trying to decide what to do next. And Kreg is walking towards you, back without the cage this time, but Sebastian's on his shoulder. And the two of you see Sebastian eating a potato, and Kreg holding one of his eyes.
Pretty much he looks at Piper, points to Sebastian, and goes, "See? I can feed him."
I see that. I'm glad.
Technically, Jelltur fed him because that's my potato.
Yeah, that went about as expected.
Hey, DM, what time is it?
It is probably getting closer to 10 at this point.
Okay, so we still have time.
You still have time.
So where do we look for Jelltur now?
I don't know.
And do we look for Jelltur? I'm pretty sure he left.
I mean, yes, we look for him, because he is our friend, Scratch.
Right.
Friend's a strong
Yes,
word.
of course.
Like Scratch had friends, a strong word.
I don't know where I would find him. I'm gonna try to use message another time to see if he's in 120 feet.
Hey Brian, can I find a store that sells maps?
Make a perception, or you know what? Make an investigation check.
16 investigation?
You don't see much in the way of like maps. You're looking around, trying to find some way you could figure out where you are. And the blacksmith is not going to be the way. The curio shop, I mean, if you spent time looking, maybe she has a map, but it looked like she had more oddities and trinkets. You don't really know anything nearby that might help navigate you.
Do you have any idea where Brath actually is?
It's in Mace. How do I explain this to you is the question.
So, Piper, you are from the Altrun region. You're
Yeah.
from across the sea. Where the city of Mace is, which is north of Brath across the lake. Mace has ways of getting to the sea. The easiest way to get to Altrun from Mace is through an ocean voyage. If you're going from west to east, is the easiest way to get to Altrun. You were
Okay.
not brought via the ocean path. You were brought the long way through the land, because the entire continent, it's one continent. The planet is in Pangea. There is an ocean path, but most land is locked together.
So I generally have an idea of, like,
You
roughly
know
where.
You roughly understand where you are. You know, based on being so close to Mace, you would have had some schooling of what the Mace region was, because there's two major regions. Solane is broken into three major regions. The Mace region, which is primarily humanoid, or primarily human, rather. Then there's the Altrun region, which is primarily elvish, high elf specifically. The third region is in between. That is the Wilds. The Wilds have a lot of the other races, have a lot of unexplored areas, and you feel that you were brought through the Wilds, but you know nothing of the Wilds.
You would also think I probably came from the wilds because
Yes.
Because
That's
you've never
where things
seen
you
Kreg
don't
before.
recognize are.
Sorry, you've never seen Scratch or his race before. Kreg,
Right.
you would also have an understanding of this, because you are also from the Altrun region, but you're on the border between Altrun and the Wilds.
Okay.
Yep. I actually can pull up the map and look at it. You are like, there's a city that borders the two. Gnomes, they are closer to elves in relation than they are to humans as far as bloodline's concerned. You both come from magic. So gnomes can get along with elves. There's still some racial tension there, but there's more connecting you than elves and humans have going on.
Would I be able to at least add to what Piper's already explaining and stuff like that?
Your knowledge of the maps, you know where you are when you're there. You can find your way around, much like how Scratch navigates. Scratch knows the area, he can read the signs of the earth. Reading a map is a little different. Scratch has the ability to read maps. His people have made maps, star charts, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like when the Native Americans were first meeting the explorers, they didn't have a field of vision of how big the world really is. Scratch is getting a sense of just how big the world is for the first time.
Gotcha.
So
Alright.
where Kreg knows how big the world is, Piper knows how big the world is, and Jelltur knows how big the world is, Scratch has no clue. Scratch has no frame of reference.
So when Kreg tries to help Piper, he just starts drawing the dirt and everything like a general poorly drawn map, but he has the general shapes of everything he remembers from a map.
You would have the general shapes.
Which I think is funny because I have a map. I have a map and a star chart, I believe.
Yes,
Can
but
you
your map that you have, if you open up
I
and
know
you look
those,
at it...
none of them are valid.
Oh, it's not that
none of
it's...
them are going to help.
Not that it's not valid. What you're looking at, and when if you open up the map and you show the other two, they'll get to see this as well. It is the edge of the Mace region, the ocean, and the edge of the Eltrun region. So it is water paths.
Mm.
Okay.
So it just doesn't help.
It doesn't help your current situation, but you can find Mace on the map, and you can approximate where Brath is on the map based on the lake. So you see where you are.
Does the wilds just encompass everything that isn't Mace or Ultron?
Yes.
Okay, so it's it's not like this huge ass area is the wilds. No, it's everything is the wilds.
Everything
except for these two things.
Except for those two regions. There's
Yeah, no, so I have no idea where I'm from either.
right. Here's the thing.
relation
There
to
are
this.
two major barriers between Mace and Eltrun. One is the ocean, and one is the wilds. Those two, inhospitable areas for these races. Because obviously it's hospitable for the Katzen.
I mean, if we are near Mace, I'm from Eltrun, and I was in a caravan, so I came across through the wilds. Just kind of trying to give an idea, almost, she takes out her notebook, flips to a clean page, trying to draw, what's in between, if you were to wrap the two ends around, the edges of the map, wrap them
Right.
around.
You have a greater understanding of the map of the Eltrun region. You
Mhm.
have no real concept of the map of the wilds, because the wilds hasn't really been mapped out.
Right. But I kind of add a little, some of the Eltrun region, adding to the map. So we need to, I guess, find our way back towards the wilds is where you would want to go, right?
Well, if that would... Still don't know where.
I could not help you with, my friend.
And if constellations are disappearing...
Finding our way could be even more difficult. And there's something probably more happening that we need to help with. If we can, of course. I don't know. We'll find our way to the wilds. We'll help you find where you need to be. But first we need to find Jelltur. We need to have our meeting and go from there.
Yes.
Where haven't we looked yet?
Well, there's the mayor's house. And there's the docks, but Scratch was a little bit hesitant about the moving trees. Alright, let's go check the docks.
This has been the Reliably Chaotic podcast. Champions of Solane is an original Dungeons & Dragons adventure written by Bryan Scharf using the Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition rule set published by Wizards of the Coast. My name is Bryan Scharf, and I've been your DM. You can reach me at ReliableDM on Twitter.
This is Jair, also known as Jade, and I play the character of Jelltur.
This is Nicole Summers, and I play Piper.
This is Matthew Reed, and I play Scratch.
This is Andrew Brown, and I play Kreg.
Theme music by Adrian von Ziegler. All other music by Kevin MacLeod on the Incompetech website and Adrian von Ziegler. Detailed information on music used in this episode is provided in its description. Music for this episode was selected by Nicole Summers, and the episode was edited by Matthew Reed. Contact us on Twitter at Reliably Chaotic, email us at reliablychaotic@gmail.com, or join our Discord server by following the link in our description. If you like us and want to support our show, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/reliablychaotic, or by leaving a 5-star rating and review on iTunes. Thank you for listening, and we hope to see you again in our next adventure.